So guys, we have got the Zontes ZT125 G1. So if you're new to the channel, then you'll not have seen, but this is my new bike. And if you've obviously seen the channel, then you know that I've got this bike. So basically, I've had the bike for just over a week now. Well, basically a week. I passed my CBT last Wednesday, and it is Wednesday for next week that I'm filming this. So already I've done around 230 mile. And as I've said before, I've got a fair bit of experience on 125s. I've probably rode 125s for around 10 years. So I've drove everything that you can think of. I've drove your Chinese bikes, your Korean bikes, your Japanese bikes. I've obviously had a fair few different 125s, ranging from naked bikes, sports bikes, cruisers. I've gone into the supermoto and the crossers and stuff like that as well. I've had 2-strokes and 4-strokes. So I've got a fair bit of knowledge and experience behind it. So I thought, you know what? I've done a fair bit of miles on it. I've obviously seen my handling and everything. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a review video for you and tell you what I think of the actual bike. So after this, I will go and do a ride out, put the camera back on here, on my helmet, and go and do a little bit of a talk and a bit of a ride out. But I thought I'd show you the bike. So as you can see, the amount of stuff that you get on a bike, like the upside down forks, the nice oversized front disc as well. You've got ABS on the front and the back, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Decent size on the back again. The sprocket sizes and everything, I don't actually know how many tooth it is. I think I've got 42 teeth on my head. But the gearing and the ratio of the sprockets is actually really good. What you could do, which I would probably suggest, if you want a more torquiness, go up on the front by 1 and obviously stay over standard on the back. Or if you want to get a bit more speed, you can go up by 1 or go up by 2 on the back and keep the front standard. Or you can do that on every single bike you want. The thing that I would recommend is getting a different chain. I've not had a single problem with this chain at the moment, but I've only done it for a week. But a lot of people say that the chain goes slack very, very easily. So something I have done is ordered a heavy-duty gold DID chain anyway. I've done that for every bike I've had, but I have ordered that, and that should be getting delivered today. When it does, I'll do a video showing you how to change the chain and how to do obviously all the adjustments. This is with the lever as well. One of the things I would recommend is this on the standard is down there. So what I would do is on here, you can actually adjust it with your barrel. You move it further towards the front, and it will bring the lever back up. So as you can see on that, I've got it more parallel. It's a lot easier to get your foot in and change the gears. Obviously, you get your crash bars from standard. You get your brake lever protectors as well, which if you get the GK, you actually get the hand guards which come with it. Now, this doesn't come with the hand guards, but on AliExpress for 20 quid, you can get the hand guards. So I've actually ordered that. They bolt into here, and then one bolt underneath here. So I'll be doing a video of that. But again, you get the brake lever guards, you get the bar and mirrors and all, which is really, really good. You come with the crash bars as well, and LED lighting all the way around. Your indicators, you can take these off because these are just literally covers, but again, it gives you that more aggressive styling. And I think it looks very nice, and it also protects them as well from the odd stone which might jump up. The exhaust as well, it's a standard exhaust, and I like how it is from standard. Saying that, I have got a new exhaust coming, and it is one which will be coming up to about here. But whether or not I will keep the DB killer in, I'm not too sure. Probably will be, to be fair, because of the sound of it. I don't like it to be too loud and obnoxious. But as far as standard, I think it's absolutely brilliant bike. And again, you haven't got one of these stupid tails for your reg plate, which coming all the way down here. It's a fairly decent look. So yeah, get the bike, and let's have a look around. As far as how the bike performs and the handleability, I'll try and obviously cover as much as I can on there. Obviously, as you can see, the roads are quite wet today, so I can't obviously go around corners like I usually would do if it was dry. But yeah, so basically, what I think of the bike, the overall bike, I think for the price of what you pay for the bike, like I say, on the road, I paid £2,900. That included it being registered to the DVLA, it also included it being taxed, and obviously you get your MOT for 3 years, don't you? But for £2,900, I think you get a hell of a lot of bike for the money. So I think it's like that across the range with Zontes's. Like, my brother-in-law has actually got a Zontes ZT125D, like the scooter, and it's a very, very good scooter, I'll be honest with you. Like, the amount of bike that you get from money again on the scooter, it's very good. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you get with it that you don't get on other bikes. So I think for the price-wise, it's very, very good, especially if you're looking at getting your first bike or your first 125. When you look at competitors out there, such as things like obviously Yamaha on Honda, like your Yamaha MT or MT125, or you look at your Honda CB125 and stuff like that, and KTM Dukes, you're paying a lot of money for the name. And there's one of the things that people don't realise is this bike, even though it's a Zontes and people are like, oh, it's a Chinese bike and blah blah blah, it's got a Yamaha engine in it. Like, not many people know that, and I was quite surprised to find that information out. But the other thing is a lot of people like, so the Hyosung GT that I had, it was a Suzuki GXXR 600, the GTR that I had, it was a Suzuki GXXR 600 frame, and even the GT Comet 125, it was a Suzuki Bandit frame, and the rear shock and the front calipers were actually from that. So even though it's like a Korean bike, the Hyosung, it was built in a Japanese factory, like Japanese parts on it, and it's the exact same as this. Yes, it's a Chinese bike apparently, but it's not what it used to be. Like, yeah, I think a long time ago Chinese bikes were rubbish, and there's a few different ones out there, like I know about the Lexmoto LXR, there's a lot of problems with that. But also, saying that, if you look after your bike, just the same as a car, you look after the bike, it'll look after you. You have to keep up with the maintenance, you have to keep up with the servicing, you have to make sure that you're obviously keeping check of the miles and how much, just topping up everything like your oil changes, you have to be on top of it all. So I think Chinese bikes have had a bad name in the past, but it's just not like that anymore. Like, they've just upped the quality so much, and as I said, yes, it might be a Chinese brand, but it doesn't mean that the parts that are getting built in your bike aren't good quality. And in fact, like I said, the Zontes, it's very, very good quality. Like, it's ridiculous how good quality the bike actually is. So as far as handling wise on the Zontes, absolutely brilliant. Now, I go to the gym and I lift quite heavy weights, like I can deadlift like 250 kilo. But saying that, this is still a very light bike. It's very, very light to me, but to others they've said the same thing. It's a very, very light bike. It's very easy to manoeuvre around. I'm going to just hold back a little bit on these because we're going slow. It's a 50 miles per hour road, but we're going 30. It's a very, very easy bike to handle around. Like, with your body weight and your legs, you can manoeuvre the bike around so easy. That's literally with my legs now. You can manoeuvre the bike around just easy as anything. And then, as far as like obviously the tyres as well, like obviously on this bike, the G1, it's a scrambler bike and you have scrambler tyres. Now so far, there's not been, it's starting to rain now, so far there's not been a single moment where I thought, I don't trust these tyres. Don't get me wrong, in the future I will be upgrading the tyres. I'm going to go away from the scrambler tyres, I believe, if I keep the bike for that long. And I will go in something like Michelin Pilot Sports, just because I've had those tyres on a lot of bikes and I prefer that type of style of tyres. But from standard, the tyres are absolutely spot on. Like I said, I've gone to like Market Raisin to Willingham Woods, gone round the corners, and it's like it's raining now, and I've not once felt like a lack of confidence in the tyres or a lack of confidence in the bike whatsoever. It's handled very, very well. And I'm not one of these people that doesn't lean over. I don't like chicken strips on the tyres and stuff. I like to lean over on corners when it's dry, that is. And like I said, the tyres are handled very, very well with the grip and the performance wise. So like I say, it's an easy bike to manoeuvre around on and off the bike. You can literally put it onto the side stand and spin it around with one hand. It's so easy to manoeuvre around. So I think if you're getting one of these bikes for a commuter bike and going through city centres, absolutely brilliant, absolutely perfect. But then saying that, if you're like me and you like to go out on leisure and go around country roads, you're still going to enjoy it. So as far as performance wise, obviously I'm still running this bike in. I'm only on 238 miles now, and the running period is 600 miles, and then obviously I had your first service. So during that first bit, I'm obviously not revving my bollocks off the bike. I've not gone up to 70 miles per hour yet, because you just don't do that in your running period. You do a lot of short shifting and stuff, a lot of lower end gears, just not revving it high. So I've not gone to that speed. But saying that, when I went to Willingham Woods the other day, I was at 60 miles per hour, half throttle, and it was sat very, very comfortably. And now, just for a bit of information, I'm 6'5", and I weigh 114 kilo at the moment. So I'm not a light person. And for a bike to be able to sit at that speed quite comfortably on half throttle and not revving the bollocks off of it, it's quite good. It's quite a good testament to it. Now, a lot of people have said on there that they're claiming it gets 74 miles per hour out of it, and I think yes, if you're a smaller person and you're a lighter person, you could probably get that out of it. I think with myself, realistically, if I was revving it and obviously changing towards the end, like just obviously like 9,000 revs,
I'd probably get 70 miles per hour out of it, but then I would be at the top end of the revs. So the other thing, as far as performance wise, again, this is the reason why this would be a good commuting bike, especially in city centres. The low end torque of the bike is very, very good. Like your gears from 1 to 4 are absolutely brilliant. Like the setting off speed, the setting off torquiness of it is very, very good. Like I believe the gear ratio on this is actually set up perfect. The thing I like about it as well is to say it's quite a torquey bike and it's got a standard exhaust on it. It's quite a nice throaty sound. It kind of reminds me of an induction kit on a car. It's quite a throaty sound, like you feel like the sound is coming from your tank instead of your exhaust. It's got the torquiness, it's got the power that you want it to be. I believe it is on literally the legal limit as well. So Zontes have literally got as much as you can possibly get out of it to still be legal. And yeah, like I said, for a 125 it handles very, very well, and it's got very good torquiness to it, which is quite interesting. The other thing is the amount of, like I said, the amount of bike you get for the price is really good. So your standard brake levers that you get are actually very good levers. You can adjust them so you can move them further away from you, closer to you, whatever you want, whatever your preference is. You do have the ability to do that. Obviously I have upgraded my levers because I prefer shorty levers. I've always, well, majority of the time, I 2-finger clutch and 2-finger brake. So I've always preferred having shorty levers. That's just my preference, and obviously I like the colour of them. But saying that, like I said, the actual bike that you get from standard, the actual levers that you get, there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. It's just personal preference. I prefer this. Like there you can see I'm 2-finger clutching, 2-finger braking all the time. So it's just personal preference why I've done that, and obviously I like the style of it, I like the colour of it. Everything else is, like I said, the braking as well, the front and rear brakes. So I believe this has got ABS. Well, yeah, it's got ABS on this, and there is a couple of times where I've tested it and it does kick in. So I've gone and like slammed on my back brakes to see if it'll end up locking in, and it doesn't lock in. You can feel the back brake basically juddering underneath your, like basically you can feel the back brake juddering a little bit under your foot, like the basically brake pedal, but it doesn't lock up, which I'm quite surprised at, to be fair. So it actually handles very well on the brake wise of things. It's definitely raining now. But it handles very, very well, which is quite surprising. The ABS actually kicks in very, very good, especially, like I said, for a Chinese 125 bike. You would not think this is a Chinese bike, I'll be honest with you. It handles very, very well. So, like I said, brake wise, very, very good. The handling, very good. The tyres, standard tyres, good. Can't really complain about them. The braking wise, the performance, like I said, the power, it's got everything there. And I think as well, the fuel, I think I topped this up, I can't remember now, but I believed it was just over £20, and I got 400 miles to the tank, is what it claims. Now if that's true, when I get 400 miles for £20 of E5 as well, so premium fuel, that is nothing to grumble at, I'll be honest with you. So my car, just for a bit of information, I drive a Jaguar XF. It's a 2 litre, or 2.2, it's tuned and stuff like that. And I average 40 miles per gallon on that, and I'm putting around £100 in that tank to get on average 450 miles. So to go from £100 to do the same mileage as putting £20 in this, it's a no-brainer. So if you wanted something which is more economical as well, and got a lot of capacity in the fuel tank, you cannot go wrong with this. I also think the styling of the bike is very good as well. The seating position is very comfortable. So this bike has actually got a slipper clutch onto it. Now it's the first time I've ever had a bike with a slipper clutch. Never had it before, never knew about it, if I'm honest with you. So obviously all the bikes I've had before have all been older style bikes. But this is the first bike I've had a slipper clutch on, and I'll be honest with you, it's a very, very good clutch. So I think something that would help with is people that are just getting into riding a bike and not used to changing gears. It kind of irons it out and smooths it out for you. So it kind of makes it like, if you do mess up a little bit on your gear changes, it kind of helps you through the gear changes a lot better. Like the gear changes are so smooth, it's actually very, very surprising how smooth the gear changes are. And again, everyone slates Chinese bikes, but I've had Japanese bikes, and this has got the smoothest clutch I've had and smoothest gear changes I've had on a 125. The price wise of the bike is very good. Like I say, if you're looking at getting a Yamaha MT or a KTM Duke or a Honda CB, this is just this type of styling, you're looking at between about £4,500 to £5,000, and sometimes on a second-hand bike you're still looking at £3,500. So what would you pay that much money for just like a Japanese brand? and just to have the name of it, or would you rather save yourself £1,000 to £2,000 and have this? And in my eyes, like I say, because of the bikes I've had, I'd rather do what I've done and pay the money for this and get a brand new bike out of it. So would I recommend it? 100%. Go and have a look at it. Obviously they do a few different other Zonteses.